Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to Life Expansion, and thank you very much for joining me. I'm Jason Stephenson, for those of you that have not yet met me, and welcome here. Welcome to all the live streamers there. I'd say just have a quick hello to, there's Paul. G'day, Paul. How you going, mate? And Eileen, Livy, Elena, and Janelle. Welcome, and Nell. Hello, and Nell, you'd be happy to know that Dharma's in the background there with your pillow there. That's my dog back there, by the way, right back. He's asleep. It's still morning time here. It's lovely to see all you guys. Yeah, it's so good to see you. And Trisha, welcome. Ali, hello. And yes, thank you, Ali. And happy Valentine's Day to you, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you in the other parts of the world. We had ours yesterday. But it's all good. I think Valentine's Day can be every day, but it's beautiful that it's just acknowledged, so it's great. I hope you've had a good Valentine's Day. Mine was beautiful. I felt a lot of love yesterday, and to be honest, it even had nothing to do with Valentine's Day. I just felt this, or maybe it did. Maybe it was all the love in the air, and I felt this surge of love, and it was fantastic. Have you all had a good Valentine's Day thus far? Have any of you got spoilt rotten with Valentine's? Ali says, I just finished a live about love. Beautiful. And Dharma's there. Hi Jill, welcome. Hi Psychic Channel and Maddie. It's great to see you guys. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. It says, I'm just looking at YouTube, and it says my stream is just going okay, but I'm going to keep plugging on and we'll just do the best we can, hey? You can never tell what's going on here. Today I'm going to be talking about some attitudes that can help us along the way of being mindful, and those attitudes are to keeping curious, and also letting go and letting be, just being in the moment, and going to be touching on using mindfulness in business. I feel that this is a direction I'm going to be moving into now, because I operate a business and I've done meditation, and I feel it could be an opportunity to link these two together quite often. And that doesn't mean you have to own your own business. It means mindfulness in the workplace, if you like. So, yeah, it's a real treat. And the more you do mindfulness, the more you do the formal practice, the sitting practice, the greater it begins to spill over into our lives. So, you can hear me fine. Great. Awesome. Thank you, Eileen. Elizabeth, I hope you get better. She said, I've had a pretty shitty day. Got the flu last night. Sorry to hear that. I'll send some healing vibes over to you. And Jill says, beautiful day. Watched A Star Is Born first thing. And that's a movie I still want to see. I've only heard good reports, so I really want to take myself to that. Hello, Elena. Lena was doing meditations on the beach. Perfect. So good. So good. Hello, Laurie. Welcome. And also to all of you who are catching the replay of this, I say hello, send you love, and welcome. So I'm just going to bring up some of my notes here and my little reminder patch, and talk about some points. And the first one I do want to touch on, well, let's just go back. Let's just go back to who I call the master of mindfulness, Jon Kabat-Zinn, who was responsible for bringing mindfulness to the West, making it really big here and bringing it into the healing centers, into the hospitals, mindfulness-based stress reduction clinics across the USA. And he's changed the path for us, and it's no wonder that we see so many apps on mindfulness and meditation now, and I truly believe that this guy is probably the most responsible for this big giant boom in meditation. And why? Well, because now meditation has been scientifically proven again and again and again, and they just continue to keep bringing out more and more studies on how it can affect us in all aspects of many aspects of our lives. Not just the physical side, but the emotional side. It's fascinating to read some topics on and some reports on this. I think the thing is, though, with this too, is that not to go into doing mindfulness meditation with with the expectation of, okay, I have emotional issues. I want to heal the emotional issues, so I'm going in to do meditation now. Because it's not about that, of course, because then it works in the reverse, you see. Because when we have the expectations, we are going into that sitting with an expectation. And the whole idea of the sitting practice is to sit, to be curious, and to sit without judgment, without expectations. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? But the expectations unfold naturally as we continue on with life. They unfold as they should, and they happen, and our life improves over time. So John Kabat-Zinn says, what is mindfulness meditation? The awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. Non-judgmentally being a key factor, especially when things come up in our minds during this time, and we say, the thoughts will come up, and the mind will say, oh, I've got to stop thinking. I can't think that. And then we judge that. We judge the thoughts, and then we judge the judging. And so the thing is, we need to just let go. Let go. So curiosity, to keep curious. And curiosity and mindfulness go together. Curiosity and awareness go together. And the reason being is because when we're sitting, when we're being present, we're always checking in. We're checking in on what is going on at any given point in time. What thoughts are we thinking? Where are they coming from? And of course, acknowledging them. Not having to clear the mind or push the thoughts away, acknowledging that. You can dive even deeper into that area of pain. If the pain's in the shoulder, you can actually dive deeper into it. Reminders of curiosity, always reminding us, how does this work? Why does this happen? Asking all these questions. The beautiful thing is with children is they're like sponges. And what I love about children is they know that they don't know. They have this hunger for knowledge and for this thirst for knowledge. And it's such a beautiful thing, isn't it? Like when you witness this with children, when you're talking back and conversing with them, you can actually see them. It's kind of like when even with the dog too, when you're talking to a dog, like you look at their heads, going like this. And then something happens along the way. As adults, we can fall into this trap of knowing that we think that we know everything, and we become the expert. And this is pretty sad. I mean, we see this time and time on Facebook. If someone asks a question or puts out a post, and someone will say, oh, I know what to do here. This is the way to do it. Then next person comes in and says, oh, that's not the way to do it. You're doing it the wrong way. No, this is the best way. Then another one comes in. No, you've all got it wrong. And what are we doing? Like this ego is getting in the way, but we're losing all sense of curiosity and of just being open to anything, open to possibilities. I'd like to talk about for years when I first began my business, and over the first year, my team would always be asking me questions. And rightly so, they wanted to know answers. However, what I thought my job was the responsibility to always answer their questions, to always have an answer for their questions, that I needed to know this, that I must know this. And instead, what I was actually doing, in a sense, for the most part, was disempowering them to find their own answers to the questions. Because quite often, they knew the answers, but they were just that little bit hesitant. And so I was keeping them in that place of hesitancy, of being unsure. And instead of saying, and now it's a different story, of course, now I say to them, what would you do in this situation now? If you couldn't do anything wrong, what do you choose to do now in this situation? And what happens is we're empowering them, we're giving them back the power, and they might make a mistake once or twice, but then I'll tell you what, it'll kick in on the third time, or the fourth time. They begin to feel empowered. Give them the gift of curiosity. Allow their minds to be kept open. It also frees the boss too, and frees the boss of having to answer all the time, because people get strength in finding out their own answers to their questions. And of course, the next one I'd like to talk about is letting go and letting be. You hear this so often in meditation, and letting go, because we're always grasping and clinging and holding on to, especially things that feel good in our lives. Okay, it could be you're in a beautiful relationship, you're in a fantastic job, and you're feeling great, but there's a sense of clutching on, and this is kind of normal, right? We want the good things, we want this. It becomes the problem, however, is when we're grasping and clutching, and those good things, reality hits, and they fall away from us. And so what's not normal about that is then the experience of the anxiousness and the anxiety and the stress and the pressure, because what we've had so tightly gripped in our hands falls away, and we're not in a really good position to cope with that. The same thing happens though for instances of pain or feelings that we don't want to have, and we tend to push them away or block them, or even to the point of pretending they don't exist. So we're certainly not letting be there, we're pushing away. And so what does that do? That just exasperates it brings it up even more. We can't push things away. They will always be there. Those feelings, those angst will always be there. So what can we do about this? We begin each day to learn to hold things just gently in the palm of our hands with an open hand. And we begin to let go a little bit, day by day by day, of the desires in life, the desires that we have, and the aversions, that we just begin to let go, because ultimately we will be letting go of everything. So it's just giving, and in this letting go, we're giving ourselves this spaciousness. And in this spaciousness, we have the opportunity to feel what is going on more, and to sense when change is happening within this spaciousness. You can liken this to, there's a couple of things you can liken this to, you know, when you scoop up a pool of water in the hand and you've got your hand like that and the water's there and you take a drink. If we close our hand, the water will seep out. We can't hold on to it. Also, the letting go process of simply breathing. Breathing in and out. In and out. We're constantly letting go. And the only time that gets blocked is when we're in a position of fear or anger. Fear, we can often hold our breath so we're not in the flow. Anger, the breath can become irregular. So it serves us well, whether you've got your own business or you're at work, to always detach and let go. Just detach and let go. It's not saying not enjoy the processes. By all means, we do that. We can do that by being aware. I want to share you just a moment before we start the meditation. We'll be starting the meditation very soon. It'll be just a few minutes away. But what I would like to share with you is something that I've just gone through in my business. And recently I've taken on an operations manager over in this part of my business. And he's came in, he might even be watching this at some time, I'm not sure, but he's came in with a lot of amazing changes, and I'm going to tell you, when he first listed these changes and he told me that there will be meetings and this going on, I thought, okay, yes, we'll deal with this. So the meetings began to happen. Then I began to clutch on to the old ways. I didn't want the change. In fact, it was beginning to annoy me. You know, what do we do in change? Sometimes we just want to revert back to what we're comfortable with. It's so much easier there. And so I began to have this sense of resentment inside me, and meeting after meeting, I felt myself like, I want to get back to my work. I want to do what I was doing. This is wasting my time. This is costing me too much time, and all these excuses was going on in my head. One day I finally decided that it was time just to, I'm at the meeting, so why don't I just let go? Why don't I just let go and let be and see what happens? Because it's going to happen. It's happening today. So I made that conscious decision in that moment, for that day, that one meeting, that I was going to let go and I was going to be present. And so I was present. And here's where the magic happens. With me letting go of the need to want to do this, the need to want to do that, and want to do that, and want to do that, and want to do that I must be doing that, I became truly present and aware and awake, and began to see enormous value in these meetings, and in particular that meeting that I was watching, and I began to enjoy it. I'm like, wow, this is valuable. There's nothing else I want to be doing now. I get it. This is valuable. This is more important than that, and that, and that, and that. And so since that time, it's been an amazing discovery, because this is why I've wanted so much to begin to talk about mindfulness at work now. And here's the deal, guys. Here's the crazy thing. You know, I've been passing on meditations over the last few years now. And I've been doing my meditation practice, both formal and informal, sitting practice and taking mindfulness outside. However, a strange thing happens is when I'm at work, I wasn't bringing the mindfulness with me. It was like it was cut off. And now it's an amazing enlightenment moment for me, I can tell you. Now I see that, hey, what's been going on all this time? what, I just come into work and then it just shuts down? So now I'm beginning to see the importance of it, and I'm really truly loving where I'm at, and just being present with you guys right now. Yeah, let go of control. I see some comments here. I've had a hard time to let go, Brianna says. And you can hear Dharma. Dharma is up. He wants to go outside. It's time for a walk soon. But isn't it amazing that yeah, Seal says everything seems that way when we agree to be present. Everything just falls away. Big moments for me over the last few weeks. Big moments. Magic happens. And here's something else that I just want to throw out there, that this mindfulness meditation and this meditating and the formal practice of doing the sitting, there's no way we can escape this formal practice, right? This is something that we need to give ourselves daily, if not every day, 5 days a week, and if you want to give yourself the weekend off or whatever, but make that decision, because it's a cumulative effect, and that only when we begin to do that can that spill over into our waking life. You come here. I knew this would happen. Oh, anyway, but so it's thrown me off now. So what I was going to say is, we do this mindfulness meditation practice, and be aware too of where you work. Because if you're practicing this meditation 5 days a week and you go to a job that is not in alignment with meditation, which is about bringing about, kindness and compassion and for yourself, and you work in a place that is, for instance, a company that poisons the world. The first company that comes to my mind, I'm sorry if anyone works here, but is Monsanto, doing awful things to the environment. Then no matter how much meditation you bring into your life, if you're working in something that's not incongruent, it's almost, dare I say it, it's kind of like a waste of time. Because on the one hand, you're seeking peace, and on the other hand, you're going into in service of a company that is, killing off the world. It's just something to think about anyway. And I understand that we all can't be in jobs currently that we want to be in. I get that. But just be aware of the mission statement of the company, and if it's in alignment with your heart and who you are. Mindfulness can be likened to carefulness. Carefulness of how we treat ourselves, carefulness of how we treat others, and carefulness of how we treat the earth. And it's become a really pivotal point in time now that we truly begin to really respect ourselves, to really love and honor who we are, and thus giving out to other people, because we're reaching a critical point on this planet now that you and I need to do something. We need to contribute to this growth rather than take away from it. So that's all I'd like to talk about now, and I'd like to go into a mindfulness meditation. I just saw a note there. Jill says, "Oh dear, I work in a casino." It's okay, Jill, you're aware of that, but it just starts with you, and I've walked into a casino many times, and I think if it's if you're in that place and you're coming in contact with a lot of people, and you have the opportunity to give a lot of love, in that environment. So, and I think not everyone that goes into casinos has issues with gambling or anything as such, you know. Just the lights attract them. The lights and the bells and the whistles. And I just saw Ali O'Shea, I love casinos, so there you go. I love the sound in casinos, you see? There you go. It's not bad at all. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up, are you guys ready to begin? And this is just 10 minutes to give yourself. 10 minutes. And good on you, Jill. I'm sure you do give out a lot of love. Good on you. Awesome. So, I'm going to put up a, let's roll. Okay. So guys, we're going to be sitting up, feet flat on the floor, and back straight. I'm going to give you a little nice, beautiful picture to look at as we do this meditation, but I suggest that you close your eyes. However, if you need to look, if you need to have your eyes open for any reason, you might want to look at the gentle pictures on the screen. And so just at the moment, checking in on your body, any sensations of your body, any emotions that might be present, and noticing as best as you can what your mind is doing at this point in time. And just letting it all be just as it is. And letting you be just as you are at this point in time. Just connecting now to the sensations of the breath, going in and out. Might want to take 3 larger breaths initially, just to sense the place in your body where you feel the breath the most. It might be your chest or belly, rising on the breath in and falling away on the breath out. At this point, I'll say that there's no need to try to control or manipulate the breath in any way. Just a letting go and simply observing like a third-party witness. And see if you can notice how that belly expands on the breath in and falls away on the breath out. Just observing the cycle of the breath, the in-breath and out-breath. Moving deeper in now, see if you can zoom in as close as you can to the inhalation and exhalation of your breath. And using this breath, using this as an anchor point to the present moment. Noticing the breath right here, right now. And if you notice any tension in your body that is not needed, just allow it to flow on the outward breath. Release it. And any tension that remains, just allow it to be as it is. So in this moment, where is your attention now? Notice where it goes to during the moments of silence. And if you notice that your mind has wandered off, then you are doing this meditation correctly. This is a moment of mindfulness. And all you need to do is just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Sensing how the belly or chest rises on the inward breath and falls away on the outward breath. rising and falling of the breath, just using this as an anchor point to this present moment, right here, right now, breath by breath, and moment by moment awareness. Allowing yourself the space to be just as you are. Breathing in, breathing out, right at this moment. Beginning to come back now into your present surroundings. Sensing your feet on the floor, your hands on your lap or by your side. The space in which your body is currently taking up. Any sounds that you can hear within your present surrounding. And when you are ready, back and opening your eyes and back into this moment of presence. And welcome back. Most welcome. It's lovely to have your presence here today, my friends. Lovely to have your presence here. I must tell you, for a moment I thought that I'd lost you all because when I just glance at the chat every now and then to see that things are working, there was no chat at all, and usually there's a little bit, and there was none, and I thought, I'm not sure if I'm doing this meditation to anyone out there. Thank you for your presence. And it's like, boo, you lost me too much time to think about bad stuff, so I spent most of it crying. And there you go. That, you know, that's a beautiful moment, truly. And that's, as long as you're aware of that and you weren't fighting that off, those thoughts, even those bad thoughts, and even those tears or whatever happens, that's perfectly okay, perfectly acceptable. Because we know that meditation is not about, you know, the myth about clearing the mind or space or anything like that. It's being aware of the present moment without judgment. That if you cry, that it's okay to cry, and that if you have lots of thoughts, bad thoughts, just being aware of that. And that's mindfulness. Because on a day-to-day basis, sometimes our minds can be clouded with so much going on. And the idea is not to push that away, because we can't. It's there. It's in the present moment. We accept that. The same goes with emotional pain, or even with physical pain, to acknowledge that. But just sit with it without judgment. I hear you. Yeah, of course. It's great to have you guys live, and I might say that next week I'll be doing a live interview with Ali O'Shea, Law of Attraction practitioner, and around this same time. And so I would love it if you can join us, and you know, we might even end with a meditation, or even begin with just a few moments of silence, because I always find those moments of silence before we begin, or they can be really grounding, and I think I'm going to introduce that more before we begin too. So, and Laurie suggests tapping helps clear those emotions out when they come up like that. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah. I'll just go back to some of the messages in case I'm missing something. I just saw Geeza's comment, for a change we did the meditation instead of chatting. That's what threw me out, Geeza. That threw me out, because I thought no one was there. I thought you've all gone. I had to check my settings. Thank you, Molly Patrick. The impact you've had on my life is so wonderful. I've been with you for 2 years. Thank you. Thank you for coming along with the journey. Awesome. Yeah. We were all being good. Oh, as long as, if you were chatting or whatever you do, as long as you do it just without judgment, just have fun with it. That's all good. That's the main part. No judgment, okay? Just do it and be aware of what you do. So I leave you today, and for this week, and as does Dharma there. I take him for a walk out now. And again, have a beautiful last part of your Valentine's Day for those of you, and I hope that some of you get taken out for dinner tonight, or that you did get taken out for dinner by your loved ones. And for those of you on your own, I hope that you give yourself the love that you deserve. This is important, okay? This is very important. Yeah. I love you guys, and I look forward to next week, and a ton of blessings your way. See you next week for Ali O'Shea, Law of Attraction practitioner. We're going to dive deep with this interview. I want to go right into this. I'm going to be asking her some tough questions. She won't like me. No, she will be all good. Goodbye all. Bye-bye.